Hey everyone, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about some things that is very, very important, especially in event decorating business. So I have an event decorating business, and I know a lot of you have an event decorating business, or maybe you looking to go into the event decorating business. So I'm going to talk to you today about what your clients can keep and what you can keep as an event decorator. Now, I have written down some things, so I will be looking down. So let's go ahead and get okay. So what is it that the client can keep? Let me tell you. Personalized items, which are custom items like custom signs, welcome signs, name cards, favors, which is party favors, which is anything from chip bags, water bottle, juice bottles, anything like that, menus, programs, banners with their names on it. You know how sometimes when you decorate for your client, they have the banners with their picture on it or with their name on it, or maybe their name in their picture or wordings or whatever that may be, then guess what? They can keep those things. Okay, another thing is printed keepsakes. Anything with their name on it or any memories or whatever it may be, the client usually can keep that. Again, it just go back to the event decorator and what different policies they have in their business. Now, for me and my business, the client is able to keep those things. I don't need that. It's custom just for them. All right. I know a lot of times, just say for instance, you ask the customer, you event decorator. So I come in and decorate for your event and I ask the client, I'm like, okay, do you want this? A lot of clients say no. I ask again, you sure you don't want it? They tell me no. So now it's up to me to decide what I'm going to do with it. Normally, I have no use for it. Now, sometimes you may have another event with the person, having the same name or whatever, but then you got to look at it sometime or most times when you get another client, even if they do have the same name, they're going to want something totally different. So you may want to try to give those things away or, just go ahead and just pass it off to the client and say, hey, I know you don't want it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway because this is your keepsake. This is for you and your family. And then they can do whatever they want to do with it. Okay. So another thing that the clients can usually keep are fresh flowers. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about centerpieces. I know that I'm going to talk to you a little later about centerpieces also because I'm going to be adding some things to it. But let's go ahead and talk about fresh flowers. Now, y'all know what fresh flowers is. Fresh flowers is anything that is pretty much a live flower. Anything that you have to put water in it is called a fresh floral arrangement. And I know a lot of clients love to have fresh floral arrangements because y'all, they are absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful, right? And so let me just talk to you a little bit about centerpieces. Now, this is a vase that I have. This belongs to me. I'm going to get into that later, but right now we're talking about what the client can usually keep. So just say for instance, I have this vase right here. My client tell me, hey, Ieasha, I want fresh flowers, whether they're roses, hydrangeas, whatever it may be. So I turn this vase into a fresh flower centerpiece or fresh flower arrangement. So I'm going to put fresh flowers in here. Okay, so once I put the fresh flowers into the vase, then guess what? At the end of the event, I tell my client, hey, or the guest or whoever, y'all go ahead and get the fresh flowers because I don't need them. Because one thing about fresh flowers is that they, you have to keep the water in them. You have to keep the food in them because, they won't live that long without the water. So it's always good for them to take them with them because that's something they have paid for, the actual fresh flowers. That's an arrangement specifically for them. All right. So we're going to get into some other things, but remember, fresh flowers is normally what the client can keep if they want it. All right, so the next thing that the client can usually keep are balloon garlands. Balloon garlands, balloon centerpieces, anything that you make that has balloons in it. Balloon garlands, if you make a balloon garland, you make a balloon arch, you make a balloon centerpiece. You can always ask the client, hey, do you want to keep these balloons? Or, if they say yes, because a lot of times they have children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews who love balloons, so they give them the balloons, okay? Now, if they don't want the balloons, then it's left up to the event decorator what to do with the balloons. Because I have decorated with balloons before, and my clients said they do not want the balloons because they don't, they just don't want them for whatever reason. So what I do, I go ahead and burst mine on site. And I go ahead and clean up everything because I don't have the space to keep those extra balloons. I know a lot of event decorators, if the clients say they don't want them, they keep them and reuse them or recycle them. But that's not the case for me. Like I said, every event decorator is going to be different. Their policies are different. The business is different. But normally, that's one thing that a client can keep, and that's the balloon garlands, balloon arch, balloon centerpieces. All right, another thing that the client can usually keep are party favors. So remember, party favors are anything from chip bags, juice boxes, water bottles, anything that is a party favor. Because a lot of times when you go to a party, the client have the favors at the front, even for a kid's party. All right, so the client normally keeps those because guess what? They're giving them away to the guest. All right, so just remember that the clients normally keep the party favors because they're giving away to guests for attending the party. So now we're going to move on to what about disposable items. So I'm going to talk to you about disposable items. I know at events there's a lot of disposable plates, cups, cutlery, all those things. And cutlery is forks and spoons, knives, and things like that. So when it comes to disposable items that the event decorator provides for the client, if it's already been used, then you immediately throw those things in the trash. Now, if it has been taken out of the plastic and it's just out, throw them away, because you do not want to reuse anything that has been sitting out, because you never know who may have touched it, who may have put it back. It could be at a kid's party, it could be at a graduation, it could be anything, any event, because sometimes people pick up plates and they put them back down because either they have too many plates or whatever it may be. And for me personally, when I am decorating, I don't want to take something from another event to take it to the other event, and I know that it's been out around or amongst other people. Okay, so let me just talk to you a little bit and show you what a disposable plate is. So this is a disposable plate. This right here is a paper plate. All right, this is a paper plate. Let me show you what a charger plate is. This is a charger plate. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be talking to you more about charger plates and how charger plates work and who gets to keep the charger plates. But when it comes to disposable plates, disposable knives, disposable forks, disposable spoons, all of those things need to be thrown in the trash, especially if someone eats off of them or they have been out amongst people. Okay, don't, the client can keep it if they want to because it's theirs, but the client can keep it if they want to. But event decorators do not get those things back, especially if they've been out or used, because that's not sanitary. All right. So let's go ahead and talk more about, okay, so now we're going to be talking about the charger plates. Okay. All right. So that's about disposable plates. Now let me go back to balloons, because like I told you, I'm going to be talking about different things, and I may go back to something else, especially if I think about it or I see it here on my paper that I have. So we're going to go back to balloons. Okay. Now, a lot of people think the stand, or a lot of clients think that the stand that the balloon is on belongs to them. No, the stand does not belong to the client. The only thing that belongs to the client are the balloons if they choose to keep them. The balloon stand, the balloon arch, the balloon, whatever the balloon is whatever the event decorator put the balloon on, or balloon stylist put the balloons on, that is a stand, it belongs to them, the actual event decorator. The only thing that belongs to the client are the balloons and the balloons only. Okay, now I just wanted to make sure I made that clear, because a lot of time people think the poles or the arch or whatever belongs to them, and it does not. The balloons are the only thing that belongs to the client. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about now is charger plates. I talked to you a little bit about charger plates, but one thing I want to talk to you about is to go deeper into the charger plates, because a lot of clients think the charger plates belongs to them. No way. Okay, the charging place does not belong to the client. Now, let me just, expound on that a little bit, because there are things called disposable charger plates also. Now, what disposable charger plates are is a disposable charger plate. That means once you get done eating off of it, it's supposed to be thrown in the trash. There are some really, really nice charger plates out there. There's some really beautiful disposable charger plates. I remember for my daughter's graduation, when she graduated from high school, y'all, I found some really cute, when I say cute, these were some really cute disposable plates. And the reason why I chose disposable plates, because I knew she was going to have a lot of her friends. I was going to have a lot of family down here, and I didn't want to go and wash no dishes. I didn't want to have to do any of that. So I found these cute charger plates in the color for her school colors, which was blue and gold. And a lot of people was like, Ieasha, you going to throw those away? Yes. Throw them in the trash, because they are disposable. Okay. Now, again, disposable is anything that's maybe a paper plate or anything that says disposable. That means it's supposed to be thrown away, especially if it had been used. Now, a lot of the plates that I had for my daughter's graduation hadn't even came out the pack yet, because I bought more than what I needed. You always want to make sure you buy a little bit more just in case. So the other pack that I had was not open, so I kept those. But the pack that was open, even when we put them, we set them outside for everybody to grab, I still threw those away. And the reason why I did, because they had been sitting outside, and also people sometimes grab a plate and they realize sometimes they have two plates, or they realize, hey, I don't even want a plate, so they put it back. And you have to be careful with people putting back plates, because you never know, let's be honest, some people don't wash their hands, and you don't want to give your client or another client anything that the previous client had, because it could not be sanitary. You always want to make sure that you're sanitary when it comes to doing your events. So anything that says disposable needs to go in the trash. Now, what I'm going to talk about now is just the regular charger plates. Now, this is a regular charger plate right here. This is not a disposable charger plate. Now, when it comes to charger plates make your event looks really, really good. You do not eat off of these charger plates. These charger plates are not to be eaten off of. That's why most time when a client is having an event, they usually have a caterer. A caterer is someone who comes in to do the food. Usually the caterer provides the paper or disposable plates. So when the guest and the client and whomever at the event go and get their food is going to be on a disposable plate, whether it's a paper plate like this or a very cute disposable charger plate like I had for my daughter. And if the client say they want these type of charger plates, what you're going to do with your food, you're going to bring this disposable plate and you're just going to put it on top of your cute little charger plate that's on the table, because we do not eat off of these plates here. We eat off of the disposable or the paper plates, okay? So when you bring your food, when the guest or the client come and bring their food to the table, you're going to put your food down onto this charger plate, because it's for decoration, which absolutely looks beautiful. Now, I'm not sure if a lot of people eat off of these or not. You're not supposed to, but it's only for decorative purposes, okay? But this right here, these charger plates here, belongs to the event decorator. So when I go and I use these plates, because you see how cute this is. I have a lot of different ones. I have a gold one. I have this one. And it comes in so many different colors, y'all. I have so many cute charger plates. This plate and every other plate that I have belongs to me. Now, anything that says disposable, hey, you're supposed to dispose it, throw it away if you've eaten off of it. And if not, if it still come in the pack, then you can choose to, hey, client, if you want this, they can have it, or the event decorator can take it also. But these type of charger plates always go back to the event decorator who is decorating for the event. Okay, so let's move on. I want to make sure I made that clear, because a lot of people get the charger plates part confused, especially the clients, because charger plates are so cute and they want to take them with you, but you can't get in trouble, client, if you take, the event decorator's property. So I just want to make sure that you know, as an event decorator, what the client cannot keep. So let me just go ahead and give you a rundown again. Examples of the event decorator inventory. Your inventory means that this is part of your business. This is what helps run your business. And the things that the client cannot keep, even if you decorate for it, and it's usually put in the contract as rentals, and we're going to talk about contracts. So examples of the event decorator inventory are tablecloths. Clients does not keep the tablecloths. The tablecloths is what you put over the table in order to make it look really, really nice, okay? Whatever color it may be. Chair covers. Chair covers goes over any basic chairs, any folding chairs, or any chairs that the client wants covered. Okay, just like these chairs that I'm sitting in right here. Now, if if this was in a venue or a home or wherever, the actual client may want the chair to be covered, then I would provide the chair covers, and I would get my chair covers back because it belongs to it's mine. All right, chair sashes. Chair sashes are anything that ties around the top of the chair. Napkins, table runners, vases. Again, this is my vase. I told you I was going to be talking about it. These things like this is so cute, y'all. Do y'all see how tall this vase is? You can't even really see it in the video, but this vase is really nice. I decorate a lot with these vases. So guess who the vase come back home to? Me. It comes back to me because it's part of my business. The client does not keep my vases. All right, so another thing will be candle holders, lanterns, artificial flowers. Now, the fresh flowers that I was telling you about, the client can keep those. It just depends on the event decorator and their policies. But normally, when I decorate with fresh flowers, I allow the client to take them if they would like to, or any guests if they want them. Because a lot of guests do like to get the florals, the fresh florals. Centerpiece stands, acrylic risers, easels, welcome sign stands, balloon stands, pipe and drape stands, backdrop frames, flower walls, shimmer walls, throne chairs, y'all. That belongs to the event decorator. Those things are rentals. What does a rental mean? That means I am renting this to you in hopes that you will return it. Because if you do not return it, then that's why I charge a security deposit. Because if you do not return it, it's missing, broken, or whatever it may be, then I get to keep the security deposit. And plus, I'm going to charge you for the entire amount of the property that belongs to me. And we're going to get into contracts a little bit, okay? Cake stands, dessert stands, table numbers. Now, table numbers can be a little tricky. It just depends on if they're custom. Anything custom belongs to the client. If they're not custom, then they belong to event decorator, unless the event decorator, they may want to give like a little keepsake to the bride, the groom, the bridesmaid, the groom, whomever it may be, but that's completely up to the event decorator. All right, so let's talk about the things that the client can keep. And some examples, I've already told you some examples, but I'm gonna give you a few more. Welcome signs with names. Anything that has the client's name on it is custom. That means that the client can have that, because more times than likely you will not have another person with the same name, or if you do, they're going to want something totally different. Okay, so the client that you're decorating for, you can give that to them because that's personalized just for them. Seating charts with names. Anything with names on it, custom banners with pictures, names, custom birthday signs, personalized favors like chip bags, water bottles, things like that. Custom menus, like I told you I did for me and my husband's. I think I told you about me and my husband's wedding anniversary, and I did a dinner set up for us, and I did a customized menu with an acrylic menu. And y'all, it was very, very cute. I think I have a video here. I'm going to upload the video to be here or wherever it will be. If I can find it, I will show you what I'm talking about. All right, any treat labels, cake toppers, y'all. That's another big thing for a lot of people. They want the custom cake toppers, photo boards, memorial signs, graduation signs, acrylic signs with names, just like I was telling you about I made with me and my husband's name, custom table numbers, things like that. Those are things that the client can keep if the event decorator decide that they can keep them. All right, now, so I want to go into talking about contracts. Now, contracts is something that a lot of time the beginner event decorator They don't even know that they need it. And a contract really protects you, it protects your business, and it also protects the client. Okay. And contracts is something that you want, even if you are a beginner. Now, it's always best to go get an attorney to look over the contract. But you know what? I'm going to tell you like this. If you're just starting out, go ahead and write up that contract. Make sure that you have the date of when the client tell you, hey, I want you to decorate for a certain date at a certain location, the time, the setup time. You want to make sure that you have the breakdown time. You want to make sure that everything is in your contract. You want to make sure that, just say for instance, you're decorating for a wedding for 100 people. You want to make sure you have all of that information in there. You want to make sure that you have everything the client tells you that they want. Just say for instance, I'm just going to give you an example of a birthday party that I did when I did some balloons, and she wanted a Mickey Mouse theme. So what I did, I asked her exactly what she wanted, the colors that she wanted with the balloons. She wanted the backdrop scene. She wanted everything. So I asked her the colors. I put the colors in the contract, the balloon colors, what all she wanted in the balloons. Just make sure she wanted the stand. And then I went back and I asked her again. And then when I put it in the contract, I told her, I said, make sure that you read the contract. You put that in your contract too. Make sure that you read this contract and that you agree to the actual, and make sure that you agree to it, and make sure that you have where they sign it, date it, and you sign it and date it, and that's the contract. So make sure you have everything in your contract. All right, y'all. So what we're going to talk about, we're still going to talk about contracts, but first I want to talk about what happens if a client takes or damages your inventory. This is very important. That's why a contract is very, very important. So this is a great part to include when it comes to your contract, because you as an event decorator, you do have boundaries. We have a business to run, and you can't run your business if every time you have an event, somebody is taking your stuff, somebody is breaking it, and all of that stuff. Okay. So that's where contracts come in. Okay. So let's talk about it now. When it comes to rental damages, because again, they are renting charger plates, napkins, tablecloths, things like that. Those are rented items because it belongs to the event decorator. So anything that is a missing item, a broken item, stained linens, damaged charger plates, broken vases, lost candle holders, lost throne chairs, lost, broken, stolen backdrop pipe and drape stands, damaged flower walls, bent backdrop frames. That's why a lot of times when you go as an event decorator, you put up the backdrop frame. You put all that stuff up. You do not allow the client to do it. For me personally, I do not allow the client to come and get my backdrop stands. I do not allow the client to come get the throne chairs. I take them myself. I place them, me and my helpers. We place them exactly where they want the throne chair. They are not allowed to move the throne chair. Okay, you're not allowed to move the throne chair. Missing centerpieces, all those things. And you have to have a contract that says if these things are missing, damaged, broken, or taken at the event, the client will be responsible for the replacement cost. And another thing that you add in your contract is a security deposit. Now, a security deposit is that, just say, for instance, you may charge $250 as a security deposit. A security deposit is what you take in order to protect your inventory. So just say, for instance, if you go back and you have a broken throne chair, or you have a broken charger plate, then guess what? More times than likely, that client does not get that security deposit back, because now that security deposit belongs to you as the event decorator, because your property, things that you own, that you're renting out to them, have been damaged. Okay, so make sure you put that in your contract. Put a clause in there that talks about security deposit, If this is damaged, if an item is damaged, lost, stolen, and all of that, that the client will be responsible for it. Now, what a security deposit is, again, when you go back and you pick up your items, and once you check everything and everything is good, it's not damaged, stolen, you was able to pick up everything, then guess what? That's when you give the security deposit back, because it is a deposit. Anything that says deposit is normally what you give back to the client. All right. Now, another thing that you need to put in your contract is when the client first reach out to you, and just say, for instance, they want you to do a wedding, $25,000 wedding. Okay, what you need to have in your contract also, you need to take a retainer fee. A lot of people call that a security deposit. You don't say security deposit, because a lot of things that you say deposit on, that means that they can get it back. You say a retainer fee, because what a retainer fee is that you, as an event decorator, you are holding that time for the client. So just say, for instance, they want their wedding to be today. Today is what, June 4th, 2026. So when you put in June 4th, 2026, that means you're holding that day for the client. So you retaining that day for the client. That means that if somebody else calls you and say, hey, I want to have a wedding for this day, no, I cannot take your booking today because I already have someone set for this day. So when you charge a retainer fee, you decide what percentage that you charge in order to take. So usually the percentage for the retainer fee be a percentage of the total amount that you're charging. So just say, for instance, $25,000. If you charge $25,000 and you charge a 50% retainer fee, then it would be 50% of the $25,000. That is what you will get up front. Now, that is due at the time of signing the contract. Again, it just depends on your business. Some people do invoices in their business. Some people don't do invoices. It just depends on your business and how you run it. Okay, it's your business, but make sure you run it right. Make sure that you let the client know what are rentals and what they will be able to keep. Make sure that you come back and ask them at least twice, hey, you sure this is what you want? When they tell you what you want, when they tell you what they want, you go back and repeat it. And then once you go and find all the items, you go back when you call them or however you do your business and say, hey, okay, you told me that you want me to decorate for 100 people. You want this color, this color, this color. You want tablescapes. You want this, this, this. I mean, you want tablecloths, this, this, this. And you keep going in that order. And then you put it on the contract. And you always put these different clauses in your contract. Now, if y'all want to know more about contracts, I do not mind talking to you about contracts, because contracts is very, very important in your business. To be honest, I don't care what business that you got, because you need to have some type of contract or policy. When it comes to event decorating, make sure you have a contract. Okay. When it comes to other different things, you can have policies. Just say, for instance, like I do t-shirts. I have a business doing t-shirts. I have a business doing tumblers. So I put there in my policy, no refunds or exchanges. Because when I customize your t-shirt or your tumbler, that's custom to you. So I can't take refunds or changes in that. Okay. Even here, when it comes to event decorating, there's no refunds or exchange, because I have done this for you. Okay. But again, that's totally your business. All right. So again, contracts is a must, not an option. When it comes to contracts, make sure it's clearly written with everything such as dates, times, location, what the client asked you to decorate for, and if the client can keep certain things versus what is rentals and a must to be returned to event decorator, or what they can keep. Make sure the client understands the contract, and if they have any questions to ask, because once the contract is signed, that is it. But always make sure that you put in your contract, like I was telling you before, a retainer fee as well as clauses. And if you want me to go over the contracts, again, just let me know in the comment section and I will do it. All right, so let's talk about what happens if a client takes or damages. Okay, so we've already talked about what happens if a client takes or damages or the property is stolen. I can't stress enough, contract. Make sure you have a contract in place in your contract that specifically states the client is responsible for any items that are broken, stolen, misplaced, etc., and they will have to pay a replacement fee or whatever you decide to put in your contract, but make sure it is known and it is written, and make sure that they sign it. Also, this is up to the event decorator, but charge a security deposit like I was telling you before, and let them know they will get it back after careful inspection of the items. If anything is misplaced, broken, stolen, they will not get their security deposit back. I want to tell the clients to make sure you read your contract entirely before signing, because you can be held liable. The client can be held liable for anything, even if you say you were not aware and did not know. Okay, so once you sign that contract, it's over, because you have had the opportunity to read the contract, sign the contract. That's where us as the event decorator come in to make sure that the client understands. Once the client signed that piece of paper, they are saying that they understand everything that's in that contract, whether you send it through, online document, whatever it may be, you sign it in person, whatever it may be, you're agreeing to that. Some event decorators decorate for family and friends. Y'all, let me tell you about this. When it comes to your family and friends, a lot of times we always say, oh, you're my family, you're my friend, I'm not going to make you sign a contract. Or sometimes they pressure you and say, boy, girl, I ain't got to sign no contract. I'm your this, that, and other. But guess what? A lot of times they are the ones that will get you. Okay, that's not to say that we don't have great family. That's not to say that we don't have great friends. This is business. This ain't personal. When you hire me to do it, and I do it for because I've done things for my family and friends too. But when you cross that, when you get me to decorate for you, it's no longer personal. We still family, we still friends, but I got to get you to sign this contract, because now we're into business. We're talking about business. This is my business. This is my livelihood. This is what I do. Okay, this is what I love. So when it comes to that part of it, you got to make them sign a contract, because anything can happen. Just say, for instance, something get broken, something gets stolen. Now they are dodging you because they know that, you're their family or their friend, and they don't even want to associate themselves with you, or, for you to see them, because they know they did wrong. And if you don't have a contract, then you don't have anything to take to where you need to take it to in order to get them to pay for it. So always make sure, even if it's family, friends, whomever it may be, that you get a contract. All right. So that's it. I know this video is a little long, but I wanted to talk to you about that, because this is very, very important in an event decorating business, especially when it comes to contracts, what the clients can keep and what the clients cannot keep. So if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I would love to answer your questions. If you want me to talk more about contracts, I will talk to you more about contracts. I will even print mine out and just let you, go over mine with you, especially for the beginners. And some of you who are not beginners, you may need, a contract also, because sometimes you may work off of the word of mouth. That worked back in the days, but nowadays we have to have it on paper. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment, y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.